Now, we're going to move on to the politics portion of this conversation, and it's unfortunately along similar lines. We're looking at the Marikana report. President Jacob Zuma saying that actually Deputy President Cyril Ramaphosa had nothing to do with it, despite the fact that many people point to the fact that he was an executive at Lonmin, and he apparently told police to deal with the situation. Lucy, in your opinion, has the president handled this report well? Did he do it correctly?
For me, I wouldn't say. I'm not satisfied. That's what I can say. I'm not satisfied. But as much as I'm not satisfied, I still believe that maybe, as the president said, that this is the highlights of the report, of the findings and what should be done. Okay, as much as it's there that the deputy president got nothing to do with what happened. Probably the commission should we find that there's something wrong with the president's findings, so then we need to go back to the commission if they did the proper job.
That's true.
Yes.
And of course, we must remember that the president just released a summary,
his
summary of what the Marikana report was.
Maybe we should, I know we should calm down, because I know it was lives that were lost, and I think maybe if you can be professional about it, I mean, because the thing, if something involves politics, there's lots of conspiracies. So let us give people a chance to do their job. And I'm not saying I'm happy with the findings, but let's give people a chance. Yes.
Nox, we saw on newspaper front pages this morning that the widows of the miners are really calling for justice. They want to sue Deputy President Ramaphosa. They want everything looked at again. And just from a woman's perspective, man, I can't even fathom what they're going through.
Absolutely. And it's hard to even comprehend. I think a lot of us could be quite empathetic to what's going on, but to have lost like a father figure and an income, an income that really wasn't even enough. So I think I completely support it, and I think I'm a bit more of a pessimist than Lucia, because just I'm not happy. I'm not happy with how long it took, and the evidence shows. And you just need to read enough just to figure out that like it's not as clean cut as it is. If the highlights are like that of the report, we need to expect worse. I can imagine just in the findings that the fact that they can validate that he's got nothing to do with it, for me, just doesn't cut it. And I can't help but think of the mothers and the children that are like suffering and are mourning still, and still aren't able to kind of go to sleep knowing that justice has been done. So I'm personally in full support of that. I think we need to push further to get the truth out. It's only fair. Otherwise, it's just a downhill from here in terms of justice in this country. That's my personal opinion.
I think the scary thing is that some research, independent research, recently showed that Lonmin was in a position to pay those salaries, but instead they chose to take those profits and move them out of the country. Now, this is according to a report, but it's difficult to believe that they weren't able to pay the rock drill operators the money that they needed to, which brings us to a really big issue in this country, and that's we don't pay our people enough, and we can't expect people to lead dignified lives if we're not paying them the salaries they deserve.
I mean, sorry if you can speak, but like, I think that's a huge issue, and I think the fact that there's so many people unemployed, when I think there are enough resources if, you would have like spread them out evenly. There are people who are earning ridiculous amounts of money, while then the next person can't even feed themselves. And I think those injustices and the fact that over the years it's just gotten worse in South Africa, it just speaks to a real sense of greed, I guess, in a lot of like maybe corporate companies. And I do think it's time that people actively say no and call for more.
Another thing that I would like to highlight is the fact that on the report it was stated that the unions, they were excluded. Maybe, I mean, we know that in the bargaining councils or in negotiations, in most cases it's the unions who are at the forefront, and the fact that they were denied that opportunity to be involved, it looked like maybe this thing started way back then. We're just taking it. That's what I believe. That the fact that now the report and that also excluded, because so that they cannot say anything. Maybe we should also look at why the unions, they will chase us off this thing and it end up in this situation.
Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely.
Mm.
Unfortunately, we're going to have to leave it there for today, but thank you both for joining us today.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.